Today we're talking about why the number on the scale doesn't change, but sometimes your body looks and feels different. Because this is one of the most frustrating places people end up. And I know that for myself. You can see changes in your body, you can feel them, you can maybe feel around your shoulders, your t shirt is starting to feel looser. But then you step on the scale and it's just not reflecting that at all.
Yeah, and that's usually when people start thinking about the fact that something's gone wrong. They're not doing
Hmm.
the right thing. They've been consistent, they've been training well, they've been eating better, and they don't get that validation, which is what they are seeking from this
Yeah,
stupid device that's supposed to tell them what their
yeah,
weight is.
exactly. And the problem is that you're expecting one number to tell you everything when realistically it's just you, your total body weight. It's not telling you what's actually changing within that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It does make sense. And it also is everything combined your fat, your muscle, the water, and your food. So, if
Hmm.
all of these different things are changing at the same time, the number might not move. And even though your body is showing a difference, the number might not.
Yeah, and that is where understanding body composition is so important. Not in a complicated way, but just knowing your body isn't just weight, or fat or skin. It's made up of so many different things that behave differently, and they're all doing their own thing, and you have to be you like the puppet master of all of these things.
And this happens especially when it comes to fat and muscle. People hear that they are different, but I don't think that people fully understand what this actually means in real life. Like, what actually is the difference between fat and muscle?
Exactly. So basically, muscle is denser than fat. So for the same weight, it takes up less space, basically. That's why you can look smaller, tighter, more defined without actually weighing less.
And that's usually what's happening when people say that their body looks different, but the scale hasn't changed. They are losing fat while building some muscle at the same time.
Yeah, and what Ane explained now is what we call body recomposition. And that happens a lot when people start training properly, especially if they've gone from doing random workouts in the gym to now actually following something that's structured, something that has a vision in mind.
Yeah, it's like lifting weights properly, you progressing properly, and you actually fueling your body instead of constantly under eating.
Yeah, yeah, because then your body actually has a reason to build the muscle. And even small increases in muscle can make a big difference in how your overall body looks from the outside, as well as how you feel within your skin.
And the feeling part gets overlooked a lot, if not all the time.
Yes.
You feel stronger, you feel more stable, you definitely have more energy. Things just feel easier day to day.
Yeah, 100%. And you also start to move better. You start to recover better. You don't feel as drained as what you used to. And those are real signs of progress. They just don't show up on the scale either.
And then there are also things like water and glycogen, which people don't really think about as often as they should. But these components make a massive difference as well.
Especially when you start eating more carbs or training harder, your body stores carbs as glycogen in your muscles, and that pulls water in with it, which is what we want.
So your muscles can look a lot fuller and you might feel a lot more energized, but your weight stays the same or it even goes up just a little bit.
Which most people see as a negative when it's actually not. It just means your body is better fueled.
Which is an amazing thing because that's what we want, you know? And then you've got your cycle, you've got your stress levels, you've got your sleep, which varies most nights, you have your digestion, and all of that affects how you feel in your body, and it also affects what is on the scale.
Yes, 100%. And some days you're going to feel and look leaner and stronger, and other days you are going to feel heavier or more bloated, and none of that necessarily reflects your real progress.
Amen. The thing is also that if you are only looking at the scale, you miss everything else about your progress.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And this is also where things like BMI annoys me, which a lot of people still use as a reference point.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like it's an old way of categorizing yourself. This basically, it just compares your height and your weight and puts you into these categories. And then if you are under 18.5, you are underweight. And if you are between 18.5 and 24.9, you are considered normal. Like, what is that even? 25 to 29.9 is overweight. And then over 30, you are obese.
Yeah. And if you have Discovery in South Africa, you know that you get mad every time the nurse comes around. Because I
Because the
remember
thing
when I
is, you
was
lose
on my
points.
yes, I was at my leanest at one point. I was looking good, feeling good, and whatever. But I was categorized into the overweight category, so I lost points for that. I was like, this is
That's what
so
I think.
dumb. It's so dumb. But again, it doesn't look at body composition. It doesn't know if that weight is muscle or fat.
Which the fitness test should actually be determined on that actually. So you could be in a higher category and still be strong and healthy and have a good body composition as well.
Yeah. And equally, you could fall into the healthy range, but not feel strong, not have much muscle, and not feel great in your body. And this is true for a lot of people. And I know too many people who chase just being in that healthy BMI range because then they are healthy, but not understanding that true health comes from having lots of muscle mass, because we know that muscle is our metabolic fighter. The more muscle you have, the less likely you are to contract a severe illness or disease. It's been proven. So this totally contradicts being healthy if you don't have a good amount of muscle mass.
Yeah. And this also is, just reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever heard people use the term a skinny fat person.
Yes.
It's like this person looks like they are healthy, but they have like their muscle percentage is extremely low and their fat percentage is extremely high. But you look at them and you're like, okay, I'm fine, I'm good. I don't need to train, I don't need to eat well, I don't need to whatever, because my body is just going to do what it has been doing. And some people are lucky like that. But if we look at it on a deeper level, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are lucky, because like Zoe said, your muscle mass is going to benefit you more than anything. And this links us directly into body fat, because this is where a lot of women misunderstand what they should actually be aiming for when it comes to their body fat.
Yeah. And there's this idea that the lower your body fat is, the better you look and feel. But that's not how it works, and that is totally not true either.
Yeah. Your body fat percentage is just how much of your total body weight is made up of fat. So if you're 25% body fat, that means that 25% of your body is fat, and the rest is everything else, like your muscle, your bone, your water, all of those things.
Yeah, and your body actually needs that fat. It's essential for your hormones, for your energy, and overall functional. And I'm talking to the woman that's listening to this. This is especially true for women. We need that fat, babes.
Yeah, we do. Because if it drops too low, that's where things can start to go horribly wrong. You will feel consistently tired. Your recovery is going to just get worse. And for a lot
Yeah,
of women, it disrupts their cycle. And we
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
don't want that.
And if you're trying to fall pregnant, forget about it also, because it's not a happy home. Sorry, when your
Sorry, a
body.
happy home.
Oops.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a happy home for your body to try and reproduce. So, and another thing that's important to understand is that a healthy range is not as low as what people actually think it is.
For most women, around 20 to 30% body fat is a healthy range where you can actually feel good and you can perform well, not only in the gym, but just in everyday tasks. And you can
Yeah.
still look strong and lean as well.
Yeah, and if you stay within that range, you can have shape, definition, and still feel comfortable in your body.
You don't need to push to the lowest possible number in order to look good.
100%. And most of the time, when people try to get too low, they actually start to feel worse and look worse as well. Have you ever noticed when someone's body fat just drops to an unhealthy number, their head starts looking like it's dragging them all over the place? That's when you just know that the body fat percentage is not mathing up with everything
Yeah,
else. Like there's almost
yeah.
no muscle to leave. That's how the girls that are on the Ozempic look right now, actually. Their heads are so extremely large. I don't know if you've also seen online a lot of them crying because their joints are paining. The one was saying how she has to sleep with a pillow between her legs because now her knees are always knocking against each
Oh,
other and it's so painful and stuff like that because the Ozempic doesn't know where to target the fat. It's just taking everything, and because most of them are not training while they are taking this Ozempic, they are losing muscle mass, they are losing bone density, they are all ending up in hospital with osteoporosis. It's I was watching this documentary 1 year from CNN, did it 1 year into like the Ozempic craze, basically. And the things that I was seeing and listening to was horrible. So please also don't try. Another reason why you don't need your body fat percentage to be so low that you look unhealthy.
yeah. And there's also been a lot of situations like this where people lose ridiculous amounts of weight, not necessarily using Ozempic, but
Yeah,
being so obsessed with the fact that they want this number on the scale to drop or the body fat percentage to go down
yeah,
that they actually literally start looking sick.
yeah, yeah.
Like, what's the point of reaching this healthy goal weight or this healthy body fat percentage and you looking unhealthy?
Yes,
Or you have less energy and you're putting a lot more stress on your body because it's actually so much harder to maintain and it's not
yes,
sustainable at
yes.
all.
Yeah, and it's so bad for your internal organs. I promise you,
Mm,
they hate it. So again, it comes back to not chasing the lowest number, whether it's with weight or with body fat percentage.
yeah. And you should rather be focusing on how your body looks, how it performs, and how it feels. And when I say looks, I mean, do I look healthy? Not
Yeah,
do I look skinny? Do I look
yeah,
skinny is not the question you should be asking yourself. Is do I look
yeah,
healthy? Like when I look at your face, are your cheeks full? Do you have a natural
yes,
blush in your skin?
yes.
These things.
Yeah, exactly. Because those are the things that actually reflect what's going on inside.
So instead of focusing on the scale, you need to start looking at your progress more clearly in all aspects.
Yeah. And one or a few ways of doing this, you can take photos, measurements, you can ask your coach to measure you or a friend to measure you. There's so many videos online that you can watch, and then just ask your husband to take the measurements, or your wife, or whoever, or you know. And then you can measure your strength as well, like if you can push more or lift more or run for a longer time, and even just how you feel day to day. Because you will note the first thing most people notice after starting a training routine is their energy going up. That's the first thing. So you will start to feel like your cells are energized.
And this is honestly what matters more than anything. It matters the most how you
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. So, reminder that the goal is not to just lose weight, it's to improve your body composition overall, to feel stronger, and to actually feel good in your body.
Because the reality is that you can lose the weight and still feel terrible. And at the same time, you can stay at the same weight and feel significantly better.
Yeah, 100% so. If your weight hasn't changed, but your body looks and feels different, that's not a problem.
That is actually progress.
You're just measuring it in a better way now.
And on that note, we really hope that this episode helped you to change the way you view your body, how you feel, and also your relationship with the scale, because the
Yeah.
number on there should never dictate what you feel about your body. So remember to always train with intention and live with strength. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.